What's up, guys? Powerbang here, and I am bringing you guys a video. You've probably heard that Clash of Clans Supercell, the makers of the company, no, the game. They make the game. They are the company. It's 3 in the morning. I apologize. But anyways, Balancing blog has come out, guys, and don't confuse this with the sneak peeks because there are still more sneak peeks to come out. They're going to be previewing more things to come. But judging just by the length of changes in the balancing portion of their letter, this is going to be a massive update. I see, personally, when I read this, I see a lot more content changes and the way the game is played, just gameplay tweaks, far more of an effect, a greater effect, than the Town Hall 11 update itself. So, big PB today, by the way. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm big today. I'm all over the screen because there's really not a lot of gameplay to show. We're just kind of having a little chat session here with the game as the background because that's the most appropriate thing I can think of. So anyways, guys, I'm going to run through the changes real quick, and then I'm going to touch on which I think, from a balance standpoint, are the key changes to really hone in on. So first off, the Town Hall 11 changes. The Grand Warden Life Aura and the Eternal Tome range has been reduced slightly. Now, the Life Aura is the radius around the Grand Warden where he provides basically kind of a boost to, or like a shield kind of, to the troops that are within inside that. So that is shrunk a little bit. So he's less effective at greater ranges. Then the Eternal Tomb, where you hit basically the special ability and all the troops in that range go invulnerable. That has been nerfed as well. That range has been brought slightly more closer to the Grand Warden, which I think is great. That's another thing, is I kind of want to give my input on what I think about each of these changes as we go through. I think that's a great change. Currently, witch attacks, even dragon attacks to an extent, are just kind of OP. Because the Grand Warden, you can literally look for bombs, you can look for air mines. I mean, all of that stuff that you see pop that could end your attack normally, you see that and you hit the ability, and everything in the area basically is covered. So that has been fixed. Moving on, Town Hall 10 plus changes. Inferno Towers. Multi-target mode now acquires new targets faster. What that means is when one target dies, it doesn't have as long of a delay before it picks up a new target with the new beam. It is nearly instantaneous. So that is going to be a big-time change when it comes to dealing with witches, especially. It seems like a lot of the upper-end balance has to do specifically with witches, and dang it, I don't blame them. I can't tell you how many wars we lost to people that were literally deploying 17 witches on the same freaking tile. So I am a fan of these changes, personally, that are bringing the witches more in line and having people use skill in order to attain those 3 stars. So the multi-targeting, the multi-mode retargeting delay was initially added a long time ago due to overwhelming effectiveness against the witches. Now, with the latest witch level in armies and donations, the witches now spawn more skeletons, and those, the speed increases needed to bring that defense back in line with the even larger hordes that you're seeing with those mass witch attacks. So, Town Hall 10 and 11 players are now less likely to find each other in multiplayer. This one, to me, is a who cares, addition. Now that more players have progressed to Town Hall 11, we can make adjustments to matchmaking that will result in less Town Hall 11 and 10 matchups. Note that the players in champion leagues and above will not be affected. Personally, I'm not a fan of that. I would like to, as a Town Hall 9.5 or 10 right now, I would like to find more Town Hall 11s in matchmaking because of that loot bonus by attacking above your level. You're getting a 10% bump just from swinging above your weight, and really the difficulty isn't a whole lot harder. You're still having to negate the Inferno Towers, and you have a Eagle Artillery to deal with, but if you're AQ walking, that can be managed pretty easily in a farming raid, especially when you're maybe only focused on a couple storages. So that's a ho-hum, whatever. Looking at the Town Hall 9 changes, all of these skeleton hit points have been reduced. Now again, back to the witches, guys. These skeletons should be a fragile unit that overcomes their inability to survive damage by sheer numbers. However, their hit points were just a sliver too high. Now, the key here is that previously, like in the way the game is right now, archer towers, you know how they shoot really fast, those arrows do not take out a skeleton. So what you're essentially seeing is one shot for the skeleton, another shot to finish it off, and a third shot is firing at the same skeleton because the second one hasn't registered as, you know, killing it yet. So really, really inefficient from an archer tower standpoint. So they're just trying to nerf the skeletons so the intention of having at level point defense be able to take out those skeletons in one shot is still true. Again, this nerf switches to the point to where you can't just overwhelm a section of the base just with sheer numbers anymore. It's going to take a little bit more skill, which again, I'm wholeheartedly a fan of. Now, skeletons now spawn from witches no longer trigger traps. Now, the key here is to take out the source of those skeletons, those witches. Now, if the skeletons aren't triggering traps, that means the wizards and the witches that are coming behind those skeletons have a great potential to get those traps triggered, and that will end raids a lot more quickly. So, all that being said, it's looking like a much more strategic use for that troop, which I think, again, is great. I'm sorry for those Town Hall 11s that you've been using that as a crutch to go ahead and bully attack Town Hall 10s. Your world has changed. However, I am very confident that there will be some things coming out in the next few days with the sneak peeks that you're going to be very happy about, so stay tuned for that. What else we got at Town Hall 9? Goblin level 6 has been moved down to Town Hall 9. They've been a bit stingy with the goblin levels, they say. Goblin lovers represent. Now, again, kind of a ho-hum change, but at the same time, I like this change. I think Goblin level 6 makes for a great farming addition at the Town Hall 9 level, so you're going to see a lot more Town Hall 9s get a little bit more beastly with those gobs. So, moving back to more war-focused stuff, the Expo. Levels 2 through 4, the damage has been increased. The Expo is viewed as kind of more of an endgame defense when those Town Hall 9, it's specific to Town Hall 9, that's the big defense that you get, right? So now that, you know, the weight on those is significantly higher, they've given it a bit of a boost with respect to its damage, which I think is great. I felt before they were a little weak. They were almost something that you don't really have to pay attention to. It's just another thing you know, to deal with, another point defense, just like an archer tower or like a cannon or whatever. And that's exactly what they say about it here. Once upon a time, the Expo was the most menacing defense in Clash. Now, with ultra tanky giants, golems, and lava hounds, Expos could use a bit of a boost to stay relevant at later levels, especially as Town Hall 9 defense balance hinges upon them. The Expo previously rode just under the Archer Tower DPS per Town Hall level, but these changes put it slightly over, so it now becomes one of the highest DPS dealing units at the Town Hall 9 level, which is, I think it's quite appropriate, honestly. I just hope they're not going to take it to the Clash Royale level of the Expo. Those of you Clash Royale players know what I'm talking about. A little bit insane. So, moving on to the Town Hall 8 Plus changes. Everything from 8 Plus has been affected by these, and the first thing we'll mention is the Valkyrie Changes. The damage of the Valkyries have been increased. That means those friendly redheads are going to do even more damage. However, in exchange, the hit points of those units have been decreased. This is from Supercell. They're trying to win a place in people's armies with one of Clash of Clans' least used troops. A general DPS increase sweetens the prospect, but the big difference is below, and is balanced by the hit points decreased. Now, the difference they're speaking of is the Valkyrie starts attacking much faster after reaching her target, so give her a try. What that means is, you know that delay, when the Valks run in, they stop at the target, and you're like, okay, do something before you die. Well, now they're going to do something. So that, to me, is great. Personally, I'm already a huge fan of the Valkyries, even before this update. Go Vaho. It is an extremely potent strategy at the Town Hall 9 level, and Valkyries can even be used as an effective 2-star weapon currently at the Town Hall 10 level. But with these changes, guys, and keep in mind, we are not talking about the sneak peeks. We have not seen what new stuff really is coming out. The only thing we're focused on today, guys, is game balance and tweaking what we already have in existence to make sure that it is optimally, yeah, that's not a word. Great job, Powerbang. Optimally tuned to make it, fair for both offense and defense while still keeping the challenge factor that all of us war guys crave that was so great at Town Hall 9 here in months past that's kind of gone to the wayside with the addition of the 30-second extra time in the raids as well as that extra dark spell. That's when Town Hall 9 started to go south, in my opinion. So, the Valkyrie is a unit that runs deep and hits hard, positioning herself dangerously and often recklessly to maximize her spin attack damage. However, her wind-up speed has been so long that often groups of Valkyries spend more time waiting to attack and dying than actually dealing damage, kind of what I just talked about. With this change, the Valkyrie will launch into her spin much faster once she reaches that prime position, making her much snappier, more reactive, and more nimble. Now, my feedback on this change is I am a huge fan of this. Community-wide, the Valkyrie is undervalued. A lot of people don't use it. This is going to bring that troop into usage at the lower levels. Now, at the Town Hall 9 level, Valkyries are one of the fastest ways currently to take out of base. You don't have to worry about the luring. You can take care of that on the fly with the Queen, a poison spell, even a rage spell. But the Valkyries, guys, quick work will be made from them with your kill squad. And the cool thing is, getting some loot here while we talk, the cool thing is about the Valks, the time doesn't become a huge issue with them, and they're extremely potent. The damage increase, I can't even fathom how hard they're going to hit now, especially when you send them in a group. Where the change is going to happen, guys, is you're going to need to supplement them more with spells. Valkyries will become more of a main portion of your army rather than a supplementary portion of your army. They're going to have spells focusing on them, heal spells, rage spells, for example, and jump spells to get them through the base. And they will take it out much faster now because both they'll be doing more damage and they'll be spinning faster. So they're going to be an absolute force to be reckoned with. I'm calling it now. The Valkyries will be the single biggest change this update and will be the most effective troop at all Town Hall levels. So you heard it here first. Wizard Towers, levels 5 through 9. The hit points have been greatly increased at later levels, which means, in my opinion, they're going to be adding hundreds and hundreds of hit points to these Wizard Towers, which is going to be a very interesting solution, especially going to impact the air game. Now, no longer will one balloon be enough to go ahead and occupy those Wizard Towers, while the main group comes behind. You're going to need quite a few balloons to go ahead and take those things out. It'll be interesting to see if 2 balloons even take it down with the increases that they're talking about. But basically, Wizard Towers are a sturdy and reliable source of splash damage early on in Clash of Clans because of their huge HP to DPS ratio. But this rapidly falls off in mid to late game, even as armies get bigger and stronger. By Town Halls 9 and 10, Wizard Towers collapse like a house of cards, despite looking like a huge mountain. A significantly higher hit point scaling will help keep Wizard Towers relevant on defense even later into the game and bring them better in line with the Cannon and Archer Tower hit point buffs we've already done in earlier updates. You guys remember, I believe it was the Town Hall 11 update, the hit points for Cannons and Archer Towers were pretty well increased, especially the Cannons. It remains to be seen how much these actually go up. But I have a great feeling that the Wizard Towers are going to be pretty formidable, and this is going to do some things against those air attacks, guys. Alright, guys, so defending troops, but not heroes, will flee from poison spells if they're standing idle. Now, what this means is the poison spells, I see this coming more into play at Town Hall 8, where one single troop getting in range of that clan castle would empty the clan castle, and then those troops would stand still. For example, one hog over the walls getting into range of that clan castle, the troops come out, they stand still, say it's a dragon and a couple balloons, or a dragon and a balloon. That is the clan castle composition. One poison spell goes down, they sit in it, they die, and then you commence your raid. Well, now, if there are no troops on the field, meaning if the clan castle troops have nothing to target, that means they are going to run like crazy. They will scatter, it seems like, in random directions to get away from that poison spell and get to safety, which is smart. I mean, why wouldn't you do that? Instead, you've got all the troops now just kind of derping around, dying, Well, what the heck? This makes sense. So, ways to combat that, you can drop a few barbs on the field continuously to keep them moving and keep them being targeted by the CC troops. So I don't think it's going to have a huge impact, but I am a fan of the change. It eliminates simplicity and requires some skill to go ahead and take care of troops. Now, this will not affect kill squads that go into the base where you have, say, a shattered entry with 2 golems, the queen and king behind, and the clan castle meets you on the way in. They're not going to run from that poison spell because they are coming to attack your army. So no big deal there. So from Town Hall 5+, all dark spells brewing time has been decreased to 10 minutes, and all elixir spell brewing time have been decreased to 20 minutes. Now, what they say about this is that they're looking at ways to make playing easier, faster, and less downtime. They want you in the game more, playing the game more, and spell brewing time is the obvious first bottleneck to this problem that they have. And there are even more changes they hint at making down the road for this, which I think is great. This is a huge quality of life thing, and I'm a huge fan of this. It basically says once you get your spell factories, all spells are going to be drastically reduced in the time it takes to build them. So I'm a big fan, glad to see this balance change. All right, so at all levels, the battle time limit. This is huge, guys. The battle time limit has been reduced to 3 minutes per attack once again. I repeat, 3 minutes per attack once again. That means this 3 minutes and 30 seconds that they put in at the Town Hall 11 update was too much. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. I know I've seen some complaints from those that have begun to get used to the 3 minutes and 30 seconds. However, I would ask you guys to keep an open mind. The reason for that is we are all creatures of habit. We get set in our ways. We fall into the same patterns, the same trends, the same habits. And this is called a meta. I mean, that is what the meta is. Certain attacks work, other certain attacks do not. This is going to cause us to adjust to the game. This reminds me of the changes to like when heroes used to not be tethered to their platforms, and you could get one thing in range, and oh my god, they're lured magically, and you could just walk them out to the corner, 2-2-3, kill it with witches and wizards, and nothing lost. It was just a big fat waste of time. Now, that changed the game, and it caused people to adjust. It took a while, but they did. This is no different. That 30 seconds that we were losing brings back relevancy to Town Hall 9 play, especially at the upper level of Town Hall 9. I don't know about you guys, but I am sick and tired of being sick and tired of seeing failed raids, literally failed raids, where all of the hogs are nuked. They run into a double bomb towards the end of the base. There's 35% remaining, but oh my god, the queen and the queen walk, which took 2 minutes to develop, is able to go ahead and clear the remainder of the base because there's enough time left for her to do so. She doesn't die. That is that, and basically a terrible raid gets a 3-star result. That has to be a thing of the past. Supercell realized it, has changed it back to 3 minutes, which I think is fantastic. The reason why is I've always wanted them to listen to their players, listen to the community. And this is something that I've heard time and time again from within my clan, from within the Fair Play community, is that the 3 minutes to 3.5 minutes was a mistake. The extra dark spell was a mistake. I am in agreement there. However, it looks like the dark spell is here to stay. At least there's no mention of it balance-wise. The 3 minutes and 30 seconds thing, they have gotten rid of it. They've listened to us. Now, it remains to be seen what else they're going to do at the Town Hall 10 and 11 levels to make 3 stars more attainable. Now, I can't... it doesn't sit right with me, the list of changes that they've listed here, that this will be anywhere close to final for Town Hall 10 and Town Hall 11. There will be more coming to Town Hall 10 and Town Hall 11 to go ahead and make it a little more balanced. Balance is on the way, guys. I have a good feeling about it. Town Hall 9, though, some of the things that have been discussed already, capped off with that 3-minute timer, is going to be huge. No more will you see 2-minute queen walks destroying 70% of the base, which you saw in my last video. And literally, the queen walk killed all but 4-point defenses. I mean, really? Come on. So that's a thing of the past. I'm happy about this, and I think it's going to be fantastic. What Supercell says about it is that monitoring the post-update situation, it turned out that 30 extra seconds of battle time wasn't really needed. Bringing the time limit back to 3 minutes will help bring back shorter and tighter battles for all players, and was especially requested by the war community. I love that. Shows that they're listening. So props to you guys. Kudos. And let's check out the rest of the changes here. Revenge attacks award star bonus and league bonus awards now. This is something that's been requested for a long time. Like, why can't we get our league bonus from doing revenge attacks? And now you can. So I think this is a great change. It's a great quality of life change. So props to you guys for getting this implemented. All right, guys, to wrap up on the changes, we've got, for War, Clan Wars matchmaking has been overhauled. We've covered this. Matchmaking is going to get better, so they say. I have faith that it will. It sounds like some of the changes they have put in will make things a little bit tighter, and you're going to see less of these really random, just like our War that you're going to see here tomorrow, 16 Town Hall 10s versus like 7. So there's no reason for that. War sizes 35 and 45 have been removed in order to boost other war sizes. I see this as being a necessity just to create a larger pool of clans, because if you're going to narrow the restrictions or narrow the parameters that that are required to match clans fairly, you need more clans to choose from. And now the only way that they could figure out to do that was to eliminate the 35 and 45 brackets. That's a tough one for me to swallow personally. Because 35 was our home. That's where we played, and that's where a big part of our community played. Now, that's not to say that you can't teach an old dog new tricks or things can't change, but that definitely hit home, so I'm a little bit neutral on that change. I do see, though, how it is valuable for the state of the game and state of matchmaking in general, especially for those that do not arrange wars. The new stat war win streak in the clan profile shows how many consecutive clan war wins a clan currently has. I think that's great. You can kind of keep a tab on your favorite clans and, just go visit them and see what they're doing. War events menu has been redesigned to be much more readable. I don't know what that means, but it sounds awesome. Can't wait to see it. Number of remaining war attacks can be seen from the clan war button when outside of the war map. I can't see how this is much different from the swords button now, and how you have a 1 or a 2 highlighted there based on how many attacks you have remaining. Maybe it's as a whole clan. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that one. All replays can be viewed directly from my team/enemy team summaries in war details. God, thank you. Thank you. From a YouTuber's perspective, this is huge. I don't have to search around anymore for an attack that I know was there, but I don't have to look through 400 replays that are, scattered throughout and remember the exact timestamp that it was hit. Quality of life things, guys. These are huge. The star button has been replaced with bigger war details button on the bottom right of the war map. Now, I'm not sure what that actually means, but we'll have to wait and see. It looks like maybe the blue icon. I don't know. I'm just kind of looking behind me at this stuff trying to see. I don't know. So, the builder summary. Tap the builder HUD icon to see. So, up top now, you click that builder icon. Currently, it does nothing, but what it will do is something like this, where you hit this guard, and it gives you a status. You can see if I move out of the way here, you've got the active status there, and you're going to see the same thing with your builders. And another cool thing is when you tap a builder, it's going to go to where it's under construction, from what I understand. So, that's pretty cool. When you're attacking, the army selection bar on the right and left, it shows scroll arrows if an undeployed unit or spell is hidden off screen. Now, I don't know if that's going to be intuitive, but I appreciate the fact that they realize that their UI is flawed in that you have to scroll to get to these troops, because I don't know about you guys, but I've forgotten countless times to deploy a key troop or a key spell like a poison, because I just couldn't see it. And when it's out of sight, out of mind, it's a little bit difficult. So thank you for putting that in. Tapping the loot cart shows how many resources are inside before collecting. I don't have one here to show you guys, but that's a welcome change. There's been several times when I'm like managing my resources and I'm just curious, oh, how much is that? And like when you click it, all the numbers are overlapped on top of each other, so you can't actually see it. So that's a welcome change. The resource storages have more visual states to indicate more clearly how full or empty they are. Currently, there are 5 states, I believe. There's an empty, a full, a mid-level, a 3/4 full, and a quarter full. So now there's going to be more to more accurately be able to go to a base, visually look at it, and say, hey, that's empty. And I don't probably want to attack that. Same thing with the gold. You probably are going to get some more states, which will be great. More visual cues are a wonderful thing. Just goes into, you know, how fast they can make it load, which it doesn't sound like it's going to be an issue. So great implementation there. Exploding traps indicate their area of effect more clearly in battle. Whatever. You know, it'll help the brain, I think, recognize things faster for those of us that are already pretty familiar with how big the radiuses are. Whatever. We'll move on and it won't be an issue. So this is kind of an interesting one. Battles now end automatically if only a poison spell is remaining, and no longer end automatically if only a quake spell is remaining. Now, the quake spell ending with that in your bag, that would be unfortunate, because I can't tell you how many times I have taken out a town hall, for example, with a quake spell because it was low enough and it did not get dropped on the entry or something that it made a difference and actually took out the building. Now, the poison spell, how many of you guys have looked all around the base trying to find that one archer that's, you know, still going, or that one goblin that's still getting you some loot, and then you realize after 20 seconds of the stare that you don't have anything on the field and you're just there for no reason? Well, that's me. I've been there a few times. Moving to the next thing, more replays are stored in the defense log and the attack log and are available for longer, which is great news. It just makes more content, more learning opportunities, more education, which is great. Army overview shows time until training and brewing is complete, and also accounts for active boosts, which is great. Gives you just a better indication of when you need to log on to make those attacks. Player profile unlocked units area is reorganized. That means the bar that's right behind my head right here with the troops and whatnot over here with the dark troops and whatnot is going to be reorganized to show things a little bit more clearly and better. So that is it for the balancing notifications. I know it was long, guys, but oh my god. I am thrilled with the amount of information and the reasoning behind all of these changes, because before, these changes in previous updates, many of them would not have been even referenced. The communication efforts from Supercell, while it still needs to improve, have tremendously improved over the past month and a half to 2 months. So definitely wanted to give them props where props are due. Your communication, your interactivity on Twitter, your willingness to reach out and talk with the community. It's very well received, at least by me and my clan. And I know that the Fair Play community, the guys that I talk to all the time, we appreciate the transparency and the upfrontness that you're demonstrating here. We appreciate it tremendously and hope that it continues. That being said, let's talk about some of the things that were talked about today in this video that I think will be the most key things from a game balancing standpoint. Starting with the Valkyries. Damage has been increased, hit points decreased, starts attacking much faster when she reaches her target. Valkyries are going to be flat out freaking beast, mark my words. New building constructions can no longer be canceled. Now, I didn't mention that as we went through the list here. I don't know how I missed it. However, this is a big one, guys. Now, think about all those clans that you match up, and they're like, oh, I'm just going to drop Infernos for these guys temporarily and make it hard on them. Well, that, you know, that might work for one war, but they're going to be stuck with those Infernos. They can't cancel them, get half their loot back, and go back to a 9.5. So once you decide to drop a defense, you're dropping the defense. So I'm good with that change. That keeps people from exploiting the system. That's a big change from a quality of life standpoint. The battle time limit reduced to 3 minutes per attack. Absolutely monstrous. Town Hall 9, you're going to see relevancy again. You're going to see Town Hall 9's not getting cleared. Mark my words. You're going to see things like that happen, and I love it. It's going to take the, you know, we won't be able to take it for granted like we do now. And I hope that the, I don't know, I don't want to say cockiness, but the expectation from those that are at Town Hall 9, I hope they're ready for difficulties. I hope they're ready to fail. Now, you know, you don't want to fail all the time, but before, when I was at Max Town Hall 9, I went through my last month and a half with a 90% 3-star rate. That's absurd. Anybody with my talent and my skill set should not be hitting at a 90% rate. That is redonkulous. So I'm glad they fixed that. All skeleton hit points reduced, and skeleton spawn from witches no longer trigger traps. Nerfs to witches The Inferno Tower picking up targets more quickly is going to nerf them as well. Loving the fact that Town Hall 11 has to do something other than just mass witch bully attack Town Hall 10s. Love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The other things, guys, are quality of life. Big emphasis here on quality of life. Reducing the spell cook time to 10 and 20 minutes, respectively. Huge. That's awesome. It's going to allow for more effective and better farming. Can't wait. Same with the Revenge Attack, Star Bonus, and League Bonus awards. Again, guys, just quality of life. Really, really appreciate some of the changes. Overall, guys, with the balancing, some of this stuff, we're going to have to wait to see how it plays out. But overall, I'm stoked. I think this is going to be a great update. And we haven't even seen the sneak peeks yet. They're going to be coming, guys. So sit tight. Can't wait to hear what you guys think in the comments about some of this balance stuff. I am very, very optimistic about this update. And I think there's going to be some huge meta shifts in the game. Everybody currently is hung up on, oh my god, there's not enough time to queen walk the entire base anymore. Who cares? Figure out something different than the queen walk. Figure out another strategy that's going to work and be effective. Remember back when we had 3 minutes before and Town Hall 9 still all got cleared? It was just in another way. So don't be so narrow-minded. Think outside the box, guys. There's other strategies out there. Hell, there is, 16, 17 different troops that you can choose to build. Figure out a combination that works for you. It does not have to be the Archer Queen walk. That being said, let me know what you think in the comments, guys. If you liked the video today, hit that like button. And we will see you tomorrow with some more Clash of Clans content. Hopefully some sneak peeks. We will see what the schedule is. But for now, that is going to do it, guys. Powerbang, signing out for next time. Take care.